Well, Merry Christmas. As you can see, we're still in the festive time of year. For me, I like the classics. I like hearing them on the radio, like Merry Christmas from Payless, Merry Christmas. Then I really know Christmas is getting close. So we left off. John was about to beat the shit out of us with his black belt. And on that glorious warm note, let's continue the read. Excuse me, here we go. We never did anything close to warrant this kind of punishment, and we can hardly believe our mother lets him get away with it. There are both individual and group black belt whippings. Why whip one kid for doing something wrong when the others can learn from the punishment as well? I could be in the living room, quietly playing with my Major Matt Mason moon station. The next moment, John is rounding us up in the kitchen to point out something one of us did wrong. Then he'd line us up, oldest to youngest, his face red with anger. He'd yank off his black belt, fold it in half. My sisters would start crying before the first swing. Then snap, 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 snap. He'd go down the line, smacking each of us with the leather strap. Sometimes it was a single blow. Sometimes it went on forever. He hit our butts, backs, sides, and the back of our legs. We hated him. He never uses his belt on Alex, who he considers too young to benefit from such punishment, or maybe because they're blood relatives. The four of us are all different sizes. Each of us sounds slightly different when struck. He whips us like a musical instrument. I happen to be a G sharp, and it fucking hurt like hell. When you're a kid in this kind of situation, you check out and run for the far corners of your mind. I quivered but never cried until it was over and I was away from him. Then I'd think about how evil he is and let the tears of anger, frustration, and pain fall. We weren't exactly running with scissors, starting fires, or sipping bleach. John had the power, the audacity, and the will to beat us, and there was nothing we could do about it. Later we'd get together and compare our wounds. Where's our mother when we need her most? She knows we don't deserve John's brutality. Why doesn't she stick up for us? Maybe she's as equally afraid of him and too frightened to come to our rescue. It sucked. We really didn't deserve to be beaten like that. John was pretty cold. The floor in our dining room is an inclined plane. Mom says it probably happened during the 1906 earthquake. We sit in the same place for every meal. John, of course, is at the head of the table. I sit across and downhill from Shelley, who has mastered the fine art of rolling peas towards my plate when no one is looking. I don't get mad. I like peas. Besides, we're not allowed to talk at the table unless spoken to first by an adult. We have to wait for John to start eating before we can touch our food. Laughing during a meal is absolutely prohibited, and the consequences are severe. Therefore, sometimes we flirt with disaster by trying to make each other laugh. Shelley's right ear comes to a slight point. You never notice it, but she does, and she tries to cover it with her hair. One of us might slip her the Vulcan split-finger greeting before asking her to pass the pepper. If she reacts, another one might say, "You have a spock of something on your chin." Shelley taught us the essentials of teasing and is very good at it, so naturally we gang up on her. The goal is to get someone so close to cracking up they have to be asked to be excused from the table. Eating dinner is especially stressful when we have salad. My developing motor skills anger John to no end. I never know if I should scoop or stab. I can feel his eyes on me. I know he's on the verge of lashing out an insult or slapping the side of my head. I can barely hold the fork in my trembling hand. This might be the root of my performance anxiety. I'd like to just have a nice relaxing meal in a consequence-free environment, but that'll never happen in my stepfather's presence. Most of the time, Mom and John talk about things I don't fully understand during dinner, but when they start talking about my testicles, I understand perfectly. Mine haven't dropped yet, and everyone is deeply concerned. During the last couple of weeks, I've had to show my tiny testicles to Mom and John, and doctors and nurses and interns and trainees. Apparently, my father and John are exchanging letters on the topic. Both of them are accomplished writers, and I'm sure the tone is professional and subversive. All I'm saying is that Tommy inherited his lack of descending testicles from his father. Therefore, he's obligated to pay for the operation, John says. Maybe he's just a late bloomer. They could drop at any time, Mom replies in my defense. Please pass the salt, I say, hoping to dear God they'll change the subject. Keep checking him regularly. I was so sick about them talking about my nuts, I wanted to pull down my pants set them right on the table for the whole family to see and just end the discussion for once and for all. Of course, I didn't have the balls to do that. That might be a good place to stop. We left off and I didn't have the balls to say that or to do that. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to another Page Turning Tuesday with Tom. And happy holidays, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.